Rodney Dorsett, and welcome to Catch a Rising Star. Today I'll be joined in the studio with Mr. Ronnie Lott. He's considered one of the greatest defensive backs to ever play in the National Football League. He's also a four-time Super Bowl champ with the San Francisco 49ers. Ronnie, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Rodney.
Good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
Can you tell us your secret to your success of lasting 15 seasons in the National Football League?
Well, I think the first thing would be my heart. I think when you play in the National Football League, you got to display a lot of heart. You got to have a lot of will, and you got to believe that you're the best. And I think that that's something that I always wanted to display. It was always something that I wanted to give to the game, and I've always felt that that was my best attribute.
Okay, Ronnie, after playing 10 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, what prompted you to sign with the Los Angeles Raiders?
Wow, it's an interesting question, because I tell you, at the time when I was with the 49ers, I thought that I would retire as a 49er, but Carmen Policy, Eddie DeBartolo, Bill Walsh, George Seifert all felt that I probably couldn't play any longer. I had a knee problem. They said that, well, you can only play one more year. I felt that I could play longer. Also, they wanted to reduce my salary. And with that in mind, I said, well, I got to move on. I got to move on, and it was best for me to move on. It was best for the 49ers that I moved on. It allowed them to make some good decisions in the secondary, but it also allowed me to continue my career as a football player. And I wanted to go on and play longer than just one more year, and I was able to do that.
Okay. After the Raiders, then signed with the Jets. You posted a career-high 123 tackles. I mean, usually a linebacker makes this many tackles, but you were a defensive back.
Well, that's what happens when you play with the Jets.
Oh, okay.
That's what happens, and the reason why that happens is that we really didn't have the type of defense that I had with the 49ers. So I had Fred Dean, I had Hacksaw Reynolds. I had some great players that I played with when I was with the 49ers, as well as with the Raiders. We have one of our own here, Howie Long, in front of me. So it was a lot easier for me going into games knowing that I had some guys that could make plays, where when I went to the Jets, it was very difficult. It was difficult because I didn't have the type of talent that you need to have to be a great football player or a great defensive team, and that allowed me to make more tackles, but I paid for it.
Yeah. You know, I recall a game where you were Green Bay. You returned a 57-yard TD interception return, and you did it on a hairline fracture to your shin bone. But then in '95, when you played with the Chiefs, you broke your leg, then you retired.
I think what happened there, Rodney, when I played the first time, obviously I was younger. Mm-hmm. I was more enthused. I was stronger. And when that happened, where I broke my fibula and really fractured it, at the time they said, well, can you play? It was a big game for us. We're back in Green Bay. It was a cold day. But I said, look, guys, whatever you can do to me to get me back on the football field, I'll play. I took a shot in the leg. It numbed that area up for me. I went out. Somehow somebody threw me a ball, and I was able to take it back. It was very painful. I paid for it. I missed the next game. But I felt that that's something that I wanted to do as a football player. It's interesting is that when you look at the game of football, just like when you look at the game of life, it's things that we all have to do to sacrifice. And I felt that at that time I wanted to sacrifice for my football team to show them that I could be a great player. But when I went to Kansas City, and the same thing happened to me there, it was time for me to hang it up. I felt that I had exhausted football. I felt that I couldn't do anymore. I didn't have the legs that I had when I played with the 49ers, and it was time for me to quit.
Okay. Now, big question. Do you see yourself becoming the head coach in the near future with all the success of Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay, who once was a defensive back?
You know, what's funny is that people have asked me that question a lot. It's been mentioned to me a number of times. Looking at Tony and his success, understanding the personality that he has, I would love to follow in his footsteps. But to be honest with you, I enjoy being around the guys here. You know, working with Terry, working with Howie, working with JB. It's been it is a team. I'm not the head coach, you know, and Terry's probably our head coach. But working with these guys, you feel like you're a part of a group. You feel like you're contributing. You're staying involved in football. And one day, who knows, you know, but I can tell you this for sure. In my heart, I enjoy it here. And in my heart, one day, who knows, I might be a head coach.
Well, Ronnie, I'd like to thank you for joining me on Catch a Rising Star. And I wish you continued success with the #1 pregame show in America on Fox with JB, Terry, and Howie.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on your show. And I'm going to tell you something. You are a star, and you just got caught. So thanks a lot, man.